Well, this week on Dateline Schools, we're learning what we can do to help our children and even for some of us adults adapt to what's going on, especially as the stay home orders continue to go on. And to tell us all about it, my special guest, it's a behavior interventionist at St. Clair County RESA, Joe Zima. And Joe, yesterday you gave us a good description of some of the issues that our kids are dealing with. Do you find it a bigger problem for kids as they get older, or more with our younger kids in elementary school versus the middle and high school kids?
I think most of our age groups have one thing in common. They're all experiencing an increased amount of stress right now. I wouldn't necessarily say it's worse or better for any certain age group. I would just say it presents differently in each group. For our younger kids, for one of many examples, sometimes when kids are sad or feeling isolated, it really shows itself as irritability in young children. It can be really difficult for the older students, especially middle school and high school, because we know one thing that happens developmentally at that age, those students prefer to spend more time with their peers and be with their friends. So this is unusual for them to spend so much time at home and with their parents and families.
Yeah, thank goodness we have Facebook, Zoom, like we're using today, and some of these others, so those kids can still keep those connections.
Yeah, and there's some pros and cons for each grade level. So for middle and high school that do have access, and not everyone does have access to those social medias, but a lot of them do, that can be one way to reach out and connect. And, that's one thing we can keep in mind for all of our age groups. One of the best ways that we can help buffer the stress or protect our kids from the stress is, how do we make connections? Because we know it's adult, or not adult, but relationships or connections with other people that help reduce the stress for them. We just got to be a little creative about how we do that and what that looks like. I know for my own daughter, who's 7 years old, they do their dance classes online now, and they do that through Zoom. So, in the midst of a crisis where we're not allowed to have some of this physical contact, how do we get creative and make some of those relationships and connections and keep them going?
We'll be back with more tomorrow. For Dateline Schools, I'm Terry Ryan.